He Walked by Night was a 1948 black and white crime noir film starring Richard Basehart. It's streaming on Prime right now, and since I've been going through a stage of watching lots of old black and white crime movies, this one was great. And in a lot of ways, I can see how this particular film influenced many films to follow, particularly the show with Jack Webb, Dragnet, because the film itself is built around a narration, as in this is a true story of the Los Angeles Police Department. And this character that we are following in the film, this Richard Basehart character, is this cold-blooded cop killer. And we follow his story as the police department are after this guy. And I thought Richard Basehart was incredible in this. He is super duper creepy. He is this soft-spoken, super intelligent criminal who is listening to police radio. He's sneaking away, carefully planning all of his moves with, incredible detail so he doesn't get captured. He has a way that he can commit a crime and then utilize the underground sewer system of Los Angeles to make his escape. So this is a sharp guy, but he's not like crazy or anything. He's just this cool, calculating villain. And we kind of follow the story of, how will the police capture him if he's so clever and no one seems to be able to catch him. And it was interesting, too, how there was like early forensic stuff that was taking place where a room filled with various witnesses to his crimes is gathered, and they're all in this dark room. Of course, they're all smoking. There's smoke everywhere. And Jack Webb is there from Dragnet, and he is the one who's kind of piece by piece putting together like a profile picture of what this guy looks like so that they know who to look for. And they'll have one person say, oh, he had eyes that looked like this, he had a nose kind of like this, and then they build like a composite face. It's like something you would see on like a CSI show today. So that was really cool for like a 1948 film to see. I mean, that was almost like something you would see today, as they would rebuild a face. And, there's a lot of really great stuff. Of course, I got to make a comment when I see or hear Richard Basehart. Of course, I'm reminded of Gypsy, the robot from Mystery Science Theater 3000. She would always be talking about her fondness of Richard Basehart. So I've never actually seen him in anything before. This is the first time I've seen him in something. So I hear the name and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, that was Gypsy's hero. And it's funny, too, the narration that kind of goes with the film. I mean, yes, it works well to kind of carry the story along. But it also reminded me of something you would hear in one of the old Bugs Bunny cartoons where there would be a narrator telling about events. I mean, it sounds just like a Bugs Bunny narrator. So I kind of got a chuckle out of that. The film seems like it could have been ripe for riffing by a program like Mystery Science Theater. But anyhow, I'm getting off the subject. So the plot basically is this is a crime story. It's about a manhunt for this clever criminal who just seems to escape capture at every turn. There's a really neat scene where he extracts a bullet from his arm. And I've mentioned this in a previous video. One of the things I respect about these older crime noir films is how they don't necessarily have to be graphically violent for you to understand what's going on. And yes, Richard Basehart takes a bullet to the arm, and you see him in his house, and he is boiling and sterilizing his equipment. And even though you don't see anything other than a close-up of his face, he's taken a bullet out of his arm because he's sweating and he's got this anguished expression to his face. His dog is kind of barking. And I thought that was great. Today in cinema, they would show everything, I'm sure. They would show the bullet coming out and blood everywhere. They didn't need to do it here because, that was just an era where I guess people were smart enough. They kind of figured it out, and they didn't need to be distracted by gratuitous violence. So really respect that. The tunnels are really amazing. So much of this film is built around very stylistic black and white and shadow and strong contrasts. When you get into the tunnels, boy, it takes it up a notch. I mean, he's able to elude capture and sneak away into the darkness. Well, without giving too much away, they do kind of figure out that he's utilizing the tunnels, and that does lead to a chase scene. And it did remind me of the sewer chase that took place in the movie The Third Man with Orson Welles, kind of running through the watery sewer, the claustrophobic pipes, and so on. And, there's guns being discharged in this tunnel, which I would think would have been deafening to hear, the discharge of like a shotgun in a tunnel. Boy, your ears would be ringing like crazy. But yeah, all this to say, it does lead up to a big chase scene, and I'll let you see for yourself how things wrap up. But this was really good if you're a fan of intelligent crime films, but done in a stylish noir sort of way. This one was really good. And again, you can see how this kind of set the pattern for shows like Dragnet and other crime shows and crime movies that would follow. So it's on Prime right now. If you get a chance, check it out.